Hi, I'm Claire from Cluesy. Thank you so much for joining in today. Just wanted to briefly talk about an antioxidant called glutathione. Now, before I go on, I just want to make sure that you actually know what an antioxidant is. Like, I'm sure you do, but basically there's things called free radicals. Now, a free radical is a byproduct of just living. So, for example, when we breathe, 2 to 5% of our oxygen turns into a free radical called reactive oxygen species. They go around causing a bit of trouble, rusting your body. There's lipid ones when you break down fats, that happens as well. The brain produces about 20% of our overall free radicals because it's so busy doing everything. It uses a lot of oxygen, it loses a lot of glucose, etc., etc. So it does have a lot of waste product. An antioxidant, what it does, it comes along and stabilizes the free radicals so the body can then get rid of them. Now, free radicals like to go where your body's weakest. So if you have a weak heart, there'll be a lot of free radicals there. If you have a chronic injury, there'll be a lot of free radicals there. Why? Well, you can imagine going to war and you take on something with the biggest fort. You're not going to really get very far because there's lots of soldiers, aka antioxidants, that are taking out the free radicals, aka the people that are coming, the militia or whatever. Whereas if you have a little tiny town that doesn't have as much as somebody with a weapon, and then the militia come, they take over that town because they have no defense. So that's kind of like what happens, free radicals versus antioxidants. You want a lot of antioxidants. So we're born producing them. Melatonin we produce till we're about 10. That's the body's most important antioxidant. Then we have two more, one called carnosine and one called glutathione. And for the purpose of this video, I'm going to talk about glutathione. We produce it till we're about 20. It's produced and available in every cell in the body, but predominantly it's in the liver. It's stored in the liver. So glutathione, why is it important? Well, it's made up of 3 amino acids, and we all know that the amino acids are what is our building blocks for our body. But what I love about glutathione, it is so protective of us. So we live in a very toxic world, all of the heavy metals that we're exposed to, the pollution in the air, even sun damage, like all of these things, the water that comes out of our taps is full of chemicals, full of heavy metals. So what does glutathione do? It's our first line defense against these things. It protects the cells. It protects your DNA from mutations. It also helps with aging. Now, when I say aging, I'm not talking about wrinkles. I'm talking about all your internal organs age over time. They rust over time. So glutathione is really important in slowing that down. What else does it do? It strengthens your immune system. So, it is one of your biggest defenders. So if you don't have a lot of glutathione, you are very susceptible to getting cancers. You're very susceptible to having allergies and the like. So you need to boost your glutathione stores. So how do you do that? Well, you got to make sure you have really good liver health because, as I just mentioned before, the liver is responsible for a lot of the glutathione. You also have to reduce the amount of free radicals that you can reduce. You can't stop breathing because, we all know what happens when you do that. But you can minimize your exposure to sun during the, hours of 11 till 3 or wherever you happen to live where the UV is the strongest. You reduce the exposure to chemicals and things like that, which in other videos I talk about how to reduce your household chemicals, etc., etc. I know that there are glutathione supplements on the market. Now, with supplements, you got to remember that when you take something orally, it has to be able to survive hydrochloric acid. Now, hydrochloric acid is extremely acidic and it breaks down things like that. That's your stomach acids. So anybody will know if you vomit or whatever, it feels like everything's burning. Like it's really, really acidic and it will break down just about everything before it gets to where it's supposed to go. The glutathione that we get through food, so broccoli, for example, has the highest levels of glutathione in it. You have to eat a hell of a lot, like 3 truckloads of broccoli per day to get the same amount of glutathione through, say, an ANF disc, and I'll explain that to you in a little while. But also the glutathione that you take orally is generally uptaken by your thyroid like that before it gets to go anywhere else. So with the ANF therapy discs, I've talked about them over and over and over again. If you want to know more about how the actual disc works, then please watch some other videos. but it's the frequency for glutathione. So wherever you put it, it's telling the brain, please, I need some glutathione here, you need to help me out. So for example, a chronic ankle injury or something like that, we would put a glutathione disc around there because we know that's where the body's weakest. So we know that's where it's going to be breaking down. People that have heart disease or liver disease or things like that, we can put glutathione there to help strengthen that particular part of the body and help protect it from free radicals because we know that it's weak. We can put it on the liver because that's where most of it's produced anyway. We can put it on the thymus, which is where your immune system gets matured. We can put it at the site of local injuries. It's super, super important, and it's just by using the ANF therapy discs, we're telling the brain we need more. So please, come and see me, book an appointment. We cannot live without glutathione. If we didn't have glutathione, we would be dead within hours. So if you want to stop your body from rusting from the inside, come and get some. I love it. I wear it. I wear a glutathione disc all the time. So, and you can see that I'm not rusting yet. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.